Maddie, can you tell your father to send more money? Maybe like $300 for Nicole, and tell him to make it quick.
You said you didn't have enough last month, too. Money for Nicole's child support is supposed to be fixed. He only sent the extra amount as courtesy last time. You need to manage within the fixed amount. I can't keep asking Dad.
Oh, Maddie, you sound more and more like your father. You don't have to be so harsh.
Well, it's hard not to be. Dad is sending money every month as agreed.
Surely you understand girls are expensive to raise. Your sister is so pretty, unlike you. So I want to make sure she's always dressed nicely. That can get costly, you know?
You think it's okay to say things like that to your own daughter?
Have I annoyed you? That makes us even then. If you act harsh to me, then I will to you too.
Since when have you started to care about what Nicole wears anyway? You always prioritized your own clothes over ours.
Your sister looks a lot like me, right? I mean, she could turn out differently as she grows older, but I'm sure she'll be gorgeous nonetheless. I'm planning for her to try out for the modeling agency.
Whatever. Anyway, if you need to talk to Dad about money, you can call him directly. He's the one paying, not me.
No way! He won't listen to me. He's too stubborn. He talks down to me and says I'm always wrong.
That's because you've lost his trust. You can't use me to get to him.
I still can't believe he divorced me when we were still raising Nicole. She hasn't even started middle school yet. I bet our absence is making him regret it though. Does he seem to miss us?
He misses Nicole. Not you, though.
How dry of him. He was so unemotional when he brought up the divorce too. What does he take me for?
You were cheating on him, Mom.
That's his own fault. You'll understand once you grow up. People have an affair because there's a problem in the house. If I was happy with him, I would not have cheated on him.
You're just making up excuses. You cheated, that's the truth.
Whatever. Maddie, you haven't told Nicole anything, have you?
About what?
Duh, the reason why her parents had a divorce.
Of course not. How could I tell her that you were having an affair? She's too young to understand what that even means.
Okay, good. I really don't want her to have an attitude like you.
I'm pretty sure any cheating mother's daughter would have an attitude like this. And plus, you know we never got along. So even if you didn't have an affair, I would have chosen to stay with Dad.
How did you become such a brat? Oh well, you're almost going on to college. I guess I shouldn't expect you to be a cutie anymore.
I bet Nicole will realize soon enough that you are not the person she wishes you were. And when she does, you can't stop her from wanting to live with us.
Fine. Anyway, just tell Dad about the money.
Huh? I said tell him directly.
I can't. Remember, this money's for Nicole. If you don't want your little sister to starve, get cracking.
Hey, Mom, I've been messaging Nicole today, but I can't get a hold of her. I assumed she'd be free today. Do you know what she's doing now?
Don't bother her.
Huh? What do you mean?
Nicole has not been keeping up with work lately. She never does her homework. And she has developed an attitude with me, so I've taken her smartphone away.
Is it true she doesn't do her homework?
Of course it's true. That's why I had to scold her.
She's always liked studying. Nicole would always get everything done as soon as she came back from school and made sure she never missed anything.
Maybe she started slacking off because I've been too easy on her.
It's hard to believe. Maybe something's going on?
Like what?
I don't know. Maybe something went on at school? Or she's concerned about something?
That's no excuse for not doing her homework. How did I let this happen? She's been so good all this time and now she's suddenly rebellious. Maddie, you better not have been saying things about me to her.
I have not. I have plenty to say about you, but not to her. I wouldn't do anything to hurt her feelings.
I hope that's true. Her attitude gets worse every time she sees you and your father. Are you sure you're not influencing her?
I'm sure. But she's probably realizing that it's more fun with me and Dad.
Are you saying I'm not good enough? How dare you say that to your mother? I have done everything to raise that girl right.
That's not what I meant. Sorry. You don't have to get so angry.
You don't understand because you're still a child. Being a single mom puts me in an extremely difficult position, and it wasn't my choice to become one. I wanted to continue to live with you too.
You did?
Of course I did. You're my daughter. We always end up fighting when we talk, but that doesn't mean I didn't want to stay with you.
Well, then you shouldn't have cheated on Dad.
Like I said before, one day you'll understand. Anyway, I have a favor to ask. Can you tell your dad that Nicole can't meet you guys next week because she's grounded?
What? No. Dad and I have been looking forward to seeing Nicole. We have plans.
Just tell him, please. Now is not a good time for her to see you two. She needs to be disciplined. I promise you two will get to see her once she's sorry.
But...
Come on, Maddie. You know I'm doing this to teach her a lesson. I know I've made bad decisions in the past, but I just want to raise Nicole right.
Fine. I'll tell him, but I don't know what he'll say about this.
Thank you. I'm sure he'll understand. He always listens to you.
Don't be so hard on Nicole, please. She needs her smartphone to keep in touch with us. And her attitude is just a phase, I'm sure.
I know. I'll make sure to have a constructive conversation with her. Say hi to your dad for me. And Maddie, you can talk to me anytime, you know that, right? We may not be together, but I'll always be your mom.
Maddie, are you awake?
Someone's up early. You got your phone back?
No, I haven't got it back. I just found where Mom hides it.
Sneaky but smart, like me. Don't let Mom find out, though. If she realizes you've been messaging me behind her back, she'd be furious.
I'm sure she won't. She's still asleep.
I see. So then, we can't speak on the phone?
No, not now.
You doing your homework these days?
Of course I am.
Oh, then Mom should give you your phone back already. Maybe she will if you apologize to her. You don't really have to mean it, you know?
I've done nothing wrong.
I know. Mom can be really difficult. You don't know when she'll start yelling. I know you're a good girl, Nicole.
Maddie, I have a question.
Shoot.
Could I get a part-time job?
What? No, you're too young to get a job. Why are you asking me this? Are you interested in some job?
I want to work so I can buy food. Is there some way I can make money?
Food? Money will get you food, but Mom cooks for you every day, doesn't she?
No, she doesn't.
Huh?
I buy my own food, like bread or something. I eat those instant soups sometimes too.
You buy them? At the store?
Yeah.
I didn't know Mom didn't cook for you. But she gives you the money to buy them, right? Is it not enough?
She only gives me money when she feels like it. She says I should be okay because I have a small stomach.
What? You must be so hungry.
Yeah. My stomach is always growling at school, so it's embarrassing.
Hold on. Nicole, how much longer will you have your phone? What time do you think Mom will wake up?
She probably won't until the afternoon. She just came home a little while ago.
A little while ago? It's 6 in the morning. Did she start another job at a bar or something?
Mom doesn't work at all. She told me to tell you and Dad that she does, though.
Okay, you know what? Nicole, we're on our way to get you. You need to pack your things without waking Mom.
Why?
Because she's not taking good care of you. You shouldn't be there. Dad is gonna be so angry when he finds out. I'm gonna wake him now and head over. Can you open the door for us when we arrive?
You mean it's okay for me to live with you?
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Mom told me you and Dad didn't want me.
What? That is a lie, Nicole. Mom took you from us. Both Dad and I have always wanted to live with you.
Maddie, please help me. I don't want to be with Mom anymore.
I know, sweetheart. Don't worry, we're on our way. Hang tight. Wait quietly so Mom doesn't notice. You're coming with us.
Hey, Maddie, have you heard from Nicole?
Why?
I was busy with something and the next thing I know she's not home. Maybe I have been too hard on her. She was never the type to just run off.
When did she leave the house?
Well, I'm not sure.
Why? Today's Sunday. You don't have work on Sunday.
I did today. My coworker couldn't come into work because her kid got sick. So I filled her spot. You know, that could happen to us too. So I said, why not?
Huh, interesting. Because I saw you sleeping in your bed snoring this morning. And I could also smell alcohol from outside your bedroom door.
Huh? Were you inside my house?
Yep.
Did you take Nicole without telling me? You broke into my house? I have Nicole's custody. If you take her without my permission, that's abduction. I'm going to call the police.
Wow, what a reaction. I didn't know it was such a bad thing to want to see my little sister.
You have a lot of days for that.
Which you keep canceling. And what is that house? It's full of trash. I can't believe you've made Nicole live in that dump.
I haven't cleaned the house in a few days because I was busy. It's not usually like this.
Really? Because it didn't look like a few days to me. And the smell was horrible.
Just give me Nicole back.
No, she's staying with us from now on.
That is not acceptable. You can't just decide. Don't be so stupid, Maddie. I'm seriously going to call the police.
Go ahead. They would probably arrest you instead.
What? Why me?
Why? You hardly ever give her food. Oh, and what was the reason? Because she has a small stomach? You are unbelievable. I thought you cared about Nicole. After all, she was just a tool to get money from Dad, wasn't she?
What are you talking about? I do care about Nicole.
How do you want me to believe that? We've already spoken to Nicole's teachers and other parents to gather information. They said Nicole would wear the same clothes for days and seemed like she only bathed once in a while.
Well, sometimes I'm busy and I can't do everything perfectly. I'm trying. How could you be so mean to me? I love her. I really do.
Nice try. You think I would feel sorry for you? You can't manipulate me.
I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm speaking from my heart.
You have made a huge mistake, Mom. Cheating on Dad was one, but I know relationships can be tricky. And as much as this might hurt Dad, I get that it happens. But not this, Mom. You have neglected your daughter. This is the worst thing you can do.
I have not neglected her.
You don't give her enough food. You sometimes give her a couple of bucks she uses to buy herself some bread for days. She would wash her hair with cold water because she didn't know how to turn the boiler on. She'd be lucky if you ever washed her dirty clothes. You don't call this neglect?
Nicole is lying. You're naive, Maddie. No adult would believe her.
Both Dad and I trust her words. And she is not as immature as you think. She totally understands that there's something wrong with you.
I don't have enough money, okay? I'm doing my best. She's not dead, is she? She's growing without an issue.
You think everything is cool if she's not dead? We know you eat whatever you want. There's plenty of proof in your trash. Fries, burgers, Chinese takeout, you name it. Did you share any with Nicole? Of course you didn't. You're allowed to spend money on all that, but not Nicole? What kind of a mother are you?
I work. I need to eat to work.
Don't lie to me. You think I don't know by now that you don't work? I called the shop you said you were working at. They said they don't know you.
They're just taking precautions. You know, they can't give out personal information nowadays.
Ugh, why am I wasting any time talking to you? We'll find out the details of your neglect soon enough.
What do you mean?
We've reported this to the authority already. They know our situation, so it's quite useless to call the police.
What? You did not.
Yep, done while you were asleep. So you've been reported before, huh? We heard that some caring person from our school had made the call. The conversation with the agent at the Child Protection Center was rather smooth. He knew exactly who you were. I bet Dad will be getting Nicole's custody back real soon.
Maddie, wait! How could you report me? You're making me look terrible.
You are terrible, Mom. The agent agreed to investigate this matter. We should know how to proceed in a couple days. I assure you that no matter what happens next, though, Nicole is never going back to you. Ever!
You know, honey, I think we should really talk this through. I would like to talk to your dad about what to do with Nicole. It'll be too confusing with the authority in the middle. And I'm sure it's too much for Nicole to be dragged into an investigation. She would have to answer so many questions.
Oh, she doesn't mind. She said she would answer any question if that means she can live with us.
Maddie, please, let me just talk to your father. You have to tell him I'm sorry about everything.
No way! Leave him alone. You put him through enough already. You are the worst. None of us ever want to see you again.
Maddie, listen to me, please. I'm begging you. Just give me one more chance and I will never treat Nicole badly again. You have to tell your dad I'm apologizing.
Nothing will ever change with you. I don't consider you my mother anymore. I don't accept anyone that neglects their child as a parent. I will never forgive you for starving Nicole while you used up Dad's money. Goodbye, you old hag. Don't you ever show up in front of us again. The authority took away Nicole's custody from my mother after the investigation. My dad was able to win her back quickly after, and the three of us live together now. The police did not have the grounds to keep her, so she was let go. As horrible as her actions were, my mother was not violent to Nicole, so it was difficult for the police to make a formal arrest. My sister had lost a lot of weight, but she was okay overall. Nicole is relieved and satisfied to be reunited with me and my father. Through the investigation, it became clear my mother used Nicole's child support money for herself. My father had agreed to provide plenty for Nicole at the time of the divorce, so my mother took advantage of it. Instead of working, she used the money for gambling and drinking and never took care of my sister. I have no idea what happened to her after our conversation. But it's been rumored that she disappeared from the house she was living with Nicole. She probably ran away, not being able to pay rent. Although, she doesn't have anywhere or anyone to turn to. My grandparents are very angry with her too, so she can't ask her parents for help. Her friends know what she's done too, and they were all very shocked. If she ever turns up in front of us, we will never accept or help her neither. Instead, my dad will ask her to pay for Nicole's child support, which she has not paid once since she lost the custody. But it's best if she doesn't show, because none of us really want to see her face. I hope she continues to be invisible to us and die somewhere someday without any clue. Anyway, my dad and I are so happy Nicole is back with us. Our house is cheerful and full of laughter every day. We're relieved that Nicole got herself back too. She's outgoing and fun as ever. I feel very proud to be supporting my dad and sister. I know I'm still young and that there isn't much I can do for them, but I will continue to strive to be a better person for them.
Gabrielle, are you there? I heard the news from Rick you're moving abroad with your husband with him, being stationed away from work.
Hey, Barbara. Yep, you heard right. How is Rick taking the news? I'm sure you know this being married to him and all, but my brother's never been good with surprises. He suddenly stopped responding to my messages when I told him I wanted him to look out for our mom while I was gone.
I see. I'm not that surprised. I'm sure you know this better than anyone, but he's never particularly been the kind of guy to go out of his way to do things for others. He hasn't done anything for your mom up until now, so the idea of him suddenly having all that responsibility foisted on him at a moment's notice probably rubbed him up the wrong way.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm not gonna pretend I expected much from him, but I didn't think he'd just outright ignore me like this. He doesn't seem to have any intention of helping out at all. He almost never shows his face at the family home. What am I saying? Sorry, Barbara, I know it's not fair of me to go bad-mouthing your husband like this.
Don't be silly. I love Rick, but I know exactly what you mean. Speaking frankly, just between you and me, I've always wished he would show more of an interest in his family. It would have been nice to see more of a reaction when he found out his little sister would be moving abroad. Actually, any reaction at all would have been nice. I mean, who even knows when you'll be back? I so wish he'd do more for your mom too. She raised you guys, for crying out loud. The least he could do is make more of an effort with her while you're away. Besides, it's not like you're asking him to move in and be her live-in carer or anything, right?
Right, of course not. Our mom lives alone, and her mobility isn't what it used to be, but she can still more or less look after herself. All I wanted was for him to show his face at the house once a week to check up on how she's doing. I made that clear, but he left me on red.
But Gabby, let's be real here. Your brother's never really been the type to look out for other people, has he? You're probably better off just giving up. I sometimes feel like the only thing he actually cares about is the casino. He rushes down there like a man possessed on every single one of his days off.
He's still gambling? I told him he had to stop that back when he got himself into debt. Oh, Barbara, I'm so sorry.
It's fine, sweetie. You have nothing to apologize for. He promised me he'd only do it in moderation this time, and borrowing money is strictly prohibited.
I see. I guess it's not that bad then. At least, not as bad as before. But in that case, it seems unlikely I'm going to be able to trust him to look after our mom while I'm gone.
Right, agreed. At the very least, she's fine getting around the house and cooking for herself, isn't she? But you've been taking her out for her hospital appointments and to buy groceries in your car for a long time, right? I understand she's going to struggle without you, but at the same time, that's a huge amount of responsibility for us to take on all of a sudden. Besides, she doesn't exactly live close by. The cost of living is skyrocketing right now, not to mention how much a tank of gasoline costs these days.
Barbara, I hope you don't think I expect you guys to do this for free. Of course, I planned on giving Rick the money to cover everything he and my mom would need to look after her.
Oh, really? You did?
Yes, there's no way I'd let you guys cover the burden. I'm the one asking for the favor here after all. Plus, I know what Rick's like. He's never had much of a part in Mom's life since moving out, so I didn't expect him to take all this on out of the goodness of his heart at a moment's notice. But you're right, it is a lot to ask of you, and I totally understand if you can't or don't want to. Don't worry, I'll think of another way. There are all sorts of companies offering services to help and support elderly people living on their own these days. It shouldn't be too hard to find something.
No, hold on a second, Pumpkin. Let me try speaking to Rick one last time. I'll see if I can get some sense into that thick skull of his.
Wow, really? You do that? Are you sure?
To tell you the truth, Gabby, I've always felt a little guilty seeing you do so much for your mom while your brother just carried on going about his life like she didn't exist. He's her eldest son, and I'm his wife. I feel a sense of duty to his family, and I want to help.
Oh, thanks a bunch, Barbara. And I'm sorry. It was never my intention to inconvenience you like this. I'm sure you're super busy and this is the last thing you need.
On the contrary, don't you think this could be the perfect opportunity? Your mom's so lovely, she'd do anything for you and your brother. And in actual fact, I've lost count on how many pinches she's gotten him out of by this point. If anyone's been an inconvenience, it's Rick. If you ask me, he owes her a debt of gratitude, and it's only right that he repays it.
Well, yeah, I can't say I disagree. In fact, I'm with you 100%. But if he has no intention of doing it of his own volition, I can't deny the idea of you convincing him to do it against his will is also a little worrying.
Don't worry, I can be very persuasive when I want to be. Besides, I'll be there to help him support your mom every step of the way. Leave the rest to me, okay, Pumpkin?
Okay, I will. Sorry again, Barbara. I owe you big time for this one. I'm counting on you to convince my brother to do the right thing.
Hey Gabby, not long now. You're flying off to Thailand tomorrow, right? I bet you can barely contain yourself. It's a beautiful country, but I hear certain parts can be dangerous, so make sure you be careful over there, okay, Pumpkin?
Hey, Barbara! Thanks a lot for the well wishes. Yeah, you betcha, I'm stoked. I appreciate the heads up. Thankfully, my husband's company apartment is in a really good neighborhood. We've always been our cautious types, so we were relieved when we found out. We'll make sure not to go wandering off into the dangerous spots or getting involved with any shady characters. Oh, and thanks again for everything with Mom. You guys are the best.
Don't mention it, sweetie. It's so good of you to cover all the costs for us. Your mom's in good hands, so you don't have to worry about one bit. Just focus on enjoying your time abroad, okay? Even if Rick's having a lazy slob day, I'll drive over on my own to make sure she's comfortable and has everything she needs.
Sorry again to trouble you like this. Ideally, me and my husband would have brought her to Thailand with us. But the prospect of shocking her like that by jetting her off to live in a foreign country at her age, as frail as she is, just made me too uncomfortable.
No kidding, she probably just wants to live out her days in peace and quiet. You're right, I think that kind of upheaval would be really hard on her, not to mention her hospital appointments. I appreciate the sentiment, but taking her with you would be unrealistic on so many levels. On top of it all, there'd be the language barrier, the climate, having to meet new friends. She'd basically be starting life over from scratch. I feel sorry for her just thinking about it.
I plan on checking out a few of the nearby hospitals and finding out whether she'd be able to continue her treatment in Thailand, just in case for some reason it came to that. I don't know how feasible it would be, but it doesn't hurt to know. You never know what kind of curveball life's gonna throw at you, you know?
I admire your selflessness, Gabby. I truly do. But don't overdo it, okay? You're a human being with limits, just like the rest of us. It's your first time living abroad too, you know? You'll be starting over from scratch yourself. What's family for, if not looking out for one another? You've done your fair share of looking out for us, so now it's our turn. Me and Rick are officially taking responsibility for operations here in the States, and we're banning you from worrying about us or your mom until you're used to your new life in Thailand.
Okay, got it. You're right. Thanks so much, Barbara. We couldn't have done this without you. We'll have a time zone gap to contend with while we're there, but don't hesitate to get in touch if you need any advice or if anything's bothering you, no matter how small.
Roger that. Oh, before you go, I almost forgot about the money. Bank transfer, right? Would you mind sending it to my account?
Your bank account? Okay, no problem.
If Rick gets his hands on it, there's a chance he might run off to the casino and blow it all on the slots. The last thing we want is your mom's money vanishing into thin air. You'd probably have more peace of mind with me looking after it.
I hadn't thought about it, but actually you're right. I can only apologize eternally for how my brother is.
It's fine, I'm used to it now. I knew what I was getting myself into when I married him. Hope you have a safe flight, sweetie. Be careful over there and have fun.
All right, I'm going. See you on the other side. Good evening, Barbara. You there? Is now a good time?
I'm here. Sure, what's up, honey? Everything okay? Did something happen?
Oh, I've just been thinking about my mom and wanted to check up on her, see how she's doing. When I called just now, she seemed kind of not well. Her voice was weak. It was like she had no energy at all.
Huh? Really?
How does she seem to you?
I thought she was fine when I last went over, no different to her usual self. I wonder if she's putting on a bold front when I'm there so as not to worry me? Come to think of it, she's so thoughtful and conscientious. That's just the kind of thing she'd do. I'm not her real daughter after all. She probably feels guilty having me go out of my way to look after her.
Oh, no, it's not that. She was telling me about all the things you were doing for her and how happy she was to have you around helping her just the other week. She's so grateful. She said she'll never forgive what you've done for her.
Wow, she said that about me? I'm so happy to hear that, but as far as I could tell, she just seemed her normal self. Not exactly bursting with energy, but not particularly weak either, you know? Just normal.
I see.
Did your mom say anything?
It's not so much what she said, it was just kind of tension. Or a frail tiredness in her voice. She said she's doing just fine.
I see. I don't know whether I'll be much help, but I could go over to her house again tomorrow morning to check up on how she's doing.
Oh, would you really?
Of course, you're worried about her, right? Okay, it's settled. I'll drive over first thing in the morning for a check-in.
I'm so sorry to trouble you again, Barbara. I know it takes you over an hour to get there in the car. Of course, I'll cover any extra costs. My mom's the type to endure things in silence or overdo it on her own because she hates the idea of being a nuisance to others. So if her health is really deteriorating, I think there's a chance she might be hiding it.
If that's the case, I can't guarantee I'll be able to get to the bottom of it, but I'll at least head over and do my best.
That's fine, I understand. Her and Rick might be completely different, but one thing they do share is that they can both be stubborn as mules in their own ways. Thanks so much, Barbara. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Oh, stop it, silly. You're making me blush. It was me and Rick who agreed to look after her in the first place. This is the least I can do.
I was so shocked when I heard Rick was getting married. But that shock turned into relief when I found out how kind you are. He's lucky to have you by his side. If my brother ever causes you any problems, don't hesitate to get in touch, okay? I'll always be here to talk. I know what he's like, and I'm sure there are times when you consider strangling him.
Don't worry, I can read him like a book, and I have a knack for putting him in his place. When he tries getting up to his old tricks, I have a feeling he's mellowing out. I don't think he has the nerve to challenge me like he used to.
Wow, seriously? I'm surprised to hear that. It looks like my brother's in good hands then. Not to mention what you're doing for Mom. Words can't describe how grateful I am for you, Barbara. Oh, did you want something from Thailand? If you do, just say the word and I'll send it over. Don't hold back, you can have anything you want.
Wow, really? Well, actually, now that you mention it, I've been getting really interested in fashion and cosmetics lately. If it's no trouble, would you mind sending me over some Thai beauty products? I'll be so excited to see what they have over there.
Got it. I'll send you a parcel full of their most popular brands. If there's anything specific you got your eye on, just give me the name and it's yours.
Thank you. Okay, I'll do some research and get back to you. I'll let you know how your mom's doing after I check in tomorrow morning.
Okay, speak to you tomorrow.
Hey Gabby, there's something I need to talk to you about. Is now a good time?
Sure, I'm just chilling at home. It's my day off today. What's up?
Listen, it's about the money.
Oh, no. Did my gambling-addicted brother get his hands on it somehow?
No, it's not that. Can you send me more money to look after your mom?
Huh? What? But I'm already sending you $1,000 a month, which includes money for her medical bills. Are you saying that's not enough?
Listen, Pumpkin, I didn't tell you this, but the thing is, your mom, she's been really selfish with me lately. The day before yesterday, she suddenly demanded that I go grab her a takeout from a top-of-the-range 5-star hamburger restaurant. She demands nothing but ultra-high-class luxury cuisine all the time, and we just can't keep up with it financially.
That's funny. My mom's been living with me and my husband since last week. Who the hell is asking you for luxury hamburgers?
Huh? Your mom's living with you in Thailand?
Yep.
What are you talking about? You're on the other side of the world. How's that even possible?
A few days after we last spoke about me being worried about how my mom sounded on the phone, she sent me a message begging me to help her.
What?
When I called her, she told me you and my brother had been stealing all of her money. She broke down in tears as she told me how you'd been abusing her and stealing things from the house.
Ridiculous! I've never heard such a load of nonsense in my life. You're joking, right?
Believe me, I wish I was joking. I'm so disgusted with you, Barbara. To think I trusted you.
Gabby, no! You've got all this wrong, I swear. I was looking after her probably at first, just like you asked. I did my best, I really did, but it turns out me and your mother just don't get along very well. You wouldn't believe how horrible she was to me. You'd think I was a piece of dirt on her shoe rather than her son's wife.
You mean my frail, aged mother who wouldn't hurt a fly and would sooner suffer in silence than cause inconvenience to others? Is this the same person we're talking about?
Maybe she's like that with you because you're her real daughter, but with me, she's cruel, malicious, and abusive. It's like there's this big black storm cloud of dread hanging over me every time on the drive over. I'm afraid to see her now. Rick saw how she was treating me and couldn't bear it, so he lost his temper with her. She's probably angry that your brother actually had the courage to stand up to her. So she put on the frail old lady act and called you in tears to try and turn you against us. I mean, come on, ask yourself. Is there any proof that we've been doing any of the things she says we have?
I thought you might ask me that. Which is why I made sure to get hold of some. To answer your question, yes, there is proof. Mountains of it.
Huh?
After we spoke on the phone, I told her to start recording your visits in secret. Lo and behold, the very first one showed you rummaging through her cabinets for money. Then, as if that wasn't reprehensible enough, you upped the ante and started hitting her, threatening to do it harder if she didn't hand over her checkbook and give you her signature. I was so furious, I felt like throwing up when I watched the video. You are one wicked, disturbed individual, Barbara.
But that's only one side of the story. Your mom did the same things to me first. Of course you won't know about that because I don't have a video. You only saw the video she wanted you to see. Your mom's wicked and disturbed too.
You can drop the act already. My brother already admitted it, that you stole my mom's money.
No way! He wouldn't do that. We're innocent. Why would he admit to something we didn't do?
It's just like you said. Rick doesn't have the nerve to challenge you. That's why my mom settled all his debts for him after he told her they were from him getting in over his head at the casino. But they weren't, were they? They were yours. He told me everything. About how you forced him to do everything with violence and threats of more violence on top of it. Now, I'm not gonna go making excuses for my brother because he did stand by and watch it all happen. But in a sense, he's a victim in all this too.
Gabby, I can't get through to Rick. What's going on? He's not answering my calls. Do you know anything about this?
My brother's staying in a facility for male victims of domestic abuse to escape your sickening reign of terror. Oh yeah, he went in today. That's probably why he's unreachable. Something tells me he won't be coming home to see you again.
He's staying where? But what the hell am I supposed to do now? What about me?
What about you? Well, I don't know about my brother, but I'm pressing charges against you for laying hands on our mom. I have mountains of evidence. The video I mentioned earlier is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm currently in the process of hiring a lawyer.
No, Gabby, wait, please, don't! You can't take me to court, we're family. Surely we should just be able to talk this out like adults instead of blowing it up into some big legal drama. This isn't a TV show, don't be so horrible.
The only horrible person here is you. You subjected my mom and brother to unimaginable suffering with your wicked campaign of abuse. And mark my words, you will pay dearly. You have the nerve to say I'm horrible for standing up to you? Cut the crap. One more thing, me and you are not family.
I'm so sorry, I've never intended to hit your mom like that. Things just got out of control and well, it kinda just happened. It's just, well, I was in trouble financially. I was desperate. I didn't know what to do or who to turn to. I asked your mom if she could help me out a little. Not much, you know, just enough to keep me afloat, but she refused.
So you hit her. Not only is your alleged reason the most selfish thing I've ever heard, but even if she did refuse to give you the money, that doesn't give you the right to hit her. Who the hell do you think you are?
Gabby, I'm so sorry. This will never happen again, I swear.
Obviously it won't. That's why I had my mom flown over to live with me and my husband here in Thailand, so she wouldn't have to spend one more second in the company of a psychopath like you. Who knows what you would have done next? I shudder to think. You're sick, dangerous, and unpredictable, and I feel terrible for leaving my mother in your care. That's why I waited until she was safely in my care to get started with the court proceedings.
I'm begging you, please, don't take me to court. Anything but court. What do I have to do to change your mind? You're right, I'm all the things you say. I acted wrongly, and I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Do you seriously think I can forgive someone who physically abused, exploited, manipulated, and stole money from my elderly mother? You must actually be insane.
I understand you're upset, but please, I'm on my last chance.
Huh? Your last chance?
Listen, I never told you this, but I'm already on a suspended sentence right now, so please reconsider. If I get in trouble again, they'll throw me in jail. I'm begging you here, please, I'm desperate. I've already lost my husband. Would you really see me lose my freedom as well?
Yes, I would. Gladly. In fact, I'd love nothing more. I mean, please, are you seriously trying to play the victim in all this? I hope they find you a good psychiatrist in prison because you need help. You're the one in the wrong here, and you only have yourself to blame.
Please forgive me, I'm begging you. I'll do anything, anything. Gabby, please.
If you'll do anything, why don't you head over to the police station right now and tell them exactly what you did? And let me make this clear. Neither me nor my brother have any intention of forgiving you. Not now, not ever. Thanks for telling me you're on a suspended sentence, though. I have a feeling that info's gonna come in really handy when we meet the judge. I'll see to it that you pay for the pain and suffering you caused my family if it's the last thing I do. My sister-in-law was rearrested after admitting to committing acts of violence against my elderly mother. It turns out that she'd been domestically abusing my brother since long before that, hitting him with such force there were even times where she broke bones. I found out during the court case that one of the neighbors had heard the commotion and called the police, and she was arrested after being caught in the act. Me and my mom never had a clue. Eventually, my brother finally came clean about everything. He said Barbara had been irresponsible with money ever since they started dating, was quick to anger, and became violent at the slightest hint of trouble. He considered breaking up with her on several occasions, but he was so afraid of her that he didn't dare broach the subject, and he was essentially forced into a marriage with a controlling psychopath he was terrified of. I'm not sure I'll ever forgive him for standing by and doing nothing as his psychotic wife abused my mom. But I do understand that he was petrified of standing up to her, afraid of how she might retaliate. There's no doubt about it. He spent years of his life in abject terror. Besides, I have to be honest too. I'm the one who left my mom in her care in the first place, so some of the responsibility lies with me. I'm filled with regret when I think about how if I'd never asked Barbara to look after my mom, none of this would have ever happened. My mom, on the other hand, is framing this whole thing in a positive light. She said that if this didn't happen, my brother might still be living in quiet desperation as her helpless victim. I don't think I'll ever forgive my ex-sister-in-law for what she did. But I do hope she uses her time in prison to think about her actions, and at the very least shows us enough respect to stay out of our lives forever when she's released. Ever since this whole dramatic episode, me and my husband have been living with my mom in peace and quiet out in the picturesque Thai countryside. Luckily, I managed to find a hospital that could provide the same treatment as she'd been getting in the States, so she managed to adapt to her new life more or less without issue. I don't know if it's due to the climate here, but to my surprise, she's been more lively and energetic than I've seen her in decades since moving over. Naturally, my brother divorced his deranged tyrant of a wife, and now he's living in another state, as far away from her as possible. Rick apologized to me after the court case, and lately we've been doing regular video calls to update each other on how we're doing. With his ex-wife out of the picture, we're closer than we've ever been. He doesn't talk about her much, but I have a feeling the reason he became distant after they got married might have been his way of protecting us from her. I know I'll never know for sure, but that's what I want to believe. With she who shall not be named finally locked away where she belongs, me and my family can finally start making up for lost time. Let the good times roll.
Hassan, are you still at work?
Why the heck are you messaging me out of the blue like this? I got off work hours ago.
It's just getting really late and I was worried about you, that's all. Are you on your way home now?
No, I stopped by the casino for a few rounds on the slots.
Hassan, you're on the slots again? Seriously? I know it's your only hobby, so I don't want to give you too much of a hard time, but don't you think you've been overdoing it a little lately?
What's the problem? I'm not hurting anyone. It's my money, and it's up to me how I spend it. I've got it. Why don't you come with me next time? Maybe then you'll see how fun it is and get off my back. I just know you'll love it.
No, I'm good, thanks. Look, Hassan, just tell me what time you plan on staying there till tonight, okay? Have you eaten? I was going to make you some supper, but if it gets much later, I'm going to bed.
I want some supper. Problem is, I keep hitting the jackpot, and it's making it hard to leave. I've got a feeling I've got a few more wins in me, so I'm gonna stay till my luck runs out.
How long will that take?
Well, at the rate I'm going, a few weeks. Seriously, babe, I'm killing it tonight. If I keep this up, that Ferrari I've been thinking about won't just be a dream anymore. Sorry to say, but I'll probably be here till they close for the night.
Until closing time? Listen, Hassan, I haven't been feeling great today. Remember how I said something felt off when I woke up? You said you'd be home straight after work, didn't you?
I did. I don't remember that. Besides, if you got the energy to be nagging at me this late hour, you can't be that ill.
Stop it, Hassan. Now you're just being childish. Ugh, whatever. Do as you please. If you take much longer, I'm going to bed. I'll probably be asleep when you get home.
It's cool. Get some sleep. You're feeling under the weather, right? If you got enough time on your hands to be complaining at me, you should really just get some rest instead. Wouldn't want to make yourself even more ill, would you?
No. There's one last thing I need to ask you. This has really been bugging me lately. Where are you getting the money to be playing the slots every day?
What do you mean, where am I getting it? From the hard-earned money earned in my own wallet, of course. Where did that question even come from? What is it with you tonight? I thought you were going to bed.
Didn't you say the other day you already ran out of money this month? You said you'd even used up the extra cash I gave you to keep you going until payday, after promising you'd make it last. You lost it in one go on the slots last week, didn't you?
Oh, I did? I don't remember that last week. Last week? No, nothing, nada. Are you sure you didn't just mishear me? In fact, do you actually have a hearing problem? Because you always seem to be accusing me of stuff I have no memory of.
You showed me your empty wallet, Hassan. This shouldn't be happening. We both agreed I would be the one in charge of managing your personal expenses. There's no way I'm wrong on this, and I find it impossible to believe your memory is that bad, Hassan. Are you there? Ignoring me isn't going to get us anywhere, is it? Can you just explain yourself already? Where are you getting your slot money from?
Oh yeah, I just remembered. I did use up the money you gave me a little earlier than usual this month. It's all about that.
Huh? What about it?
Well, here's the thing. I hesitated about telling you straight away because I thought you'd be angry, but at the same time, I did need more money. So I borrowed some more from my mom.
Huh? From your mom? Are you joking?
No, I'm 100% serious. You have no idea how relieved I was when she said yes. I don't know what I'd have done without her. Hey, I didn't tell her that I was gonna use it on the slots, though. Make sure you keep that little detail quiet, all right? Can you do that for me? She'll flip a switch on me if she finds out.
God, you're impossible, Hassan. I'm at my wit's end. I just don't know what to do with you anymore. Do you have no issue with lying to your own mom?
Chill out, it's fine. I didn't strictly lie, I just didn't tell her. Besides, I'll pay her back if I win today. And even if I don't, I'll definitely pay her back next month when I get paid.
That's not the point. Ugh, I get a headache every time we talk these days. What the hell happened to you, Hassan? You know what? Forget it. I don't even want to reply. Just get yourself home ASAP. You shouldn't be out on the slots this late, especially not when you're gambling with someone else's money.
Geez, take a chill pill, would you, babe? You do know how it's my day off tomorrow, right? What's the problem if I'm home late?
This is not a negotiation.
Fine, point taken. I'll be back soon. Make sure my supper's ready on the table.
Hassan, I'm so sorry about this, but can you get home on short notice? Are you at work?
Why? No, I'm not. Does something happen?
I think I'm taking a turn for the worse. My stomach's in agony, my head's pounding, and I'm so dizzy it feels like the living room's spinning. I need you to get me to the hospital.
Damn, seriously? That's not good. You got a fever?
About 39 degrees. It's difficult for me to stand. I collapsed a few minutes ago.
You collapsed? Are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
I think I collapsed from the dizziness from standing up too fast when I tried getting up from the sofa. I knocked some things off the table as I went down, but thankfully, I landed on the carpet, so I'm not injured. But Hassan, I feel horrendous. This is the worst I've ever felt. Please, can you come and get me? I'm begging you. I can't afford a taxi because of all the money I've been giving you lately, and calling an ambulance would pretty much bankrupt us. Please, can you take me to the ER?
I mean, like right now, this instant?
Yes, honey. I need you now. Please. Can't you make it?
Look, babe, I really want to come and get you, but the thing is, I'm in the middle of a huge win streak right now. There's no way I can leave. I'm on fire.
A huge win streak? Wait, what? But you told me you got a call from the boss about something that needed doing urgently at the office.
Sure I did, but think about it. If I told you the truth, you'd just flip out at me again like you always do. It was only yesterday you were grilling me about my finances for the 754th time this week.
Is that a crime? It's only natural for me to be upset about what you're doing. You're a grown man, for crying out loud. It's bad enough that you have to borrow money from your mom in the first place. The fact you're blowing it all at the casino is even worse. Are you incapable of reflecting on your behavior? Do you not see what you're doing is the problem?
It's not that I don't self-reflect, and I get that there might be room for improvement in some areas. It's just that I had this unshakable feeling that I was gonna win big time today. I figured if I didn't hit the slots, I'd lose out. And lo and behold, I'm on the win streak of my life. Honestly, babe, you wouldn't believe it. There's even a small crowd gathering behind me as we speak.
Wow, amazing. Well done. Ugh, just forget about all this nonsense. I'm not well, Hassan. I can barely stand and I feel like I might pass out at any moment. I need you to come and take me to the hospital, please. I'm begging you. You have no idea how awful I feel.
We own this, Sweet Pea. How many times do I gotta tell you? Are you even listening to me? I'll give you a hint. Reread my messages if you're struggling.
Are you even listening to me? I don't even know if I'm gonna be conscious long enough to finish this conversation. This is no time for messing around.
Messing around? I'll never be more serious about anything. I've been waiting my whole life for a win streak like this, and you have the nerve to go demanding I chauffeur you to the hospital right in the middle of it. Besides, you can get to the hospital by yourself. Just walk or hitchhike or something. I'm sure you'll figure it out. You're a grown woman. Forget once a year. This is a kind of win streak that only comes by once in a lifetime. Like hell am I about to throw it all away by walking out when the gods of luck are smiling on me. You should try being more considerate for a change. You're not the only person in the world, you know. I have a life of my own.
That's enough. I've had it with you. Regardless of whatever's wrong with me right now, the stress of speaking to you is guaranteed to send me to an early grave. I can't take it anymore, Hassan. I've reached my limit.
Oh, you seem mad. You're not mad with me, are you? I'm sorry, babe.
So will you take me then?
I'm afraid that's not gonna be possible. Well, listen, how does this sound? If I win big, I promise to take you out and treat you to a lavish meal at a 5-star restaurant. So take a chill pill.
Wow. You mean you'll treat me to a meal with the money me and your mom gave you? You're such a gentleman. Enough. I can't take it anymore. I'll go to the hospital on my own. Do as you please.
Ah, gotcha. So you are capable of making it on your own after all. Why didn't you just say so from the get-go? In that case, what the heck was all the fuss about? You just like nagging at me, don't you? Whatever, I'm just glad you're finally being honest with me. Be careful on the way, okay, babe? I'll do my best to win big so I can take you out somewhere nice when you get out. Yo, Winona, I'm home. Where are you? I can't find you in the house anywhere. Did you go somewhere?
Your parents' house.
My mom's place. Is there a reason for that? Wait, why would you go to my mom's? Didn't you say you were so ill you could barely stand?
And whose fault do you think that is, boy?
What the boy? Why are you speaking to me like that? Are you trying to say it's my fault you're ill?
Who else's fault would it be?
I see, so that's your attitude, is it? What a shame! And just so happens I won big time on the slots. And I was just about to suggest taking you out to a nice fancy restaurant as a treat, but if that's how you're gonna speak to me, you're clearly not interested in going. I'll give you one more chance to start showing me the respect I deserve. You sure you want to keep this up?
Respect? Don't screw around with me, boy. Is this the way you behave when your wife collapses with a fever? Instead of coming to help, you sit wasting your time and throwing away your money at the slots? Do you really think this is acceptable? Explain yourself right now.
You've got some nerve to talk about acceptable when you're speaking to me like that. Stop calling me boy. I'm a grown man, damn it. Get off your high horse, Winona. Besides, it's not like I wasn't worried about you. I might have been racking up Iron Man numbers on the slots, but really, my heart was with you. That's why I'm messaging you right now. Let's face it, though. If you're well enough to be making social visits at my mom's place, you were clearly never that ill to begin with. Not only that, but you've even got enough energy to flip out at me. To be honest, you seem no different than normal.
You have no idea how disappointed I am in you, boy. It's no wonder why Winona has reached her wit's end with you.
Oh, what did you just say? This is Winona I'm speaking to, right?
Your wife said she ran out of patience for you. I want to make it clear that she has my full support in her decision.
This is making like zero sense to me right now. My head hurts. Is this Winona? What is this? Some kind of game? Some kind of prank? A joke? Stop messing me around, woman. This isn't funny.
Riona's asleep right now. She's tossing and turning in a sweaty delirium with a fever so high it could nearly heat up my house through the winter. She looked ready to collapse at any moment when she got here.
Wait, Mom? Aha! You did say Winona was at yours and Dad's house, didn't you? I think I understand what's going on now.
Exactly. I kept up the act because I wanted to see how you'd respond. When I saw you messaged her, I was praying you did it because you were concerned for her well-being. As your mother, I desperately clung to the hope that you had even a shred of goodness or decency somewhere inside you. I wanted nothing more than to believe that you weren't as selfish and heartless as she was saying. But it seems like my hopes were unfounded.
Whoa, isn't that a bit harsh, Mom? I don't really understand what you're getting at here. Selfish, heartless? Where the hell is all this coming from?
Didn't I just tell you? That's what your wife said about you. Why don't you have a good think about what she might mean?
I got no idea, I swear. Wait, does this mean Winona's gonna be staying the night at your place? And she's asleep, right?
Yes, that's what I just told you, which is why if you want to speak to her, you're going to have to wait until tomorrow. Before you do that, I suggest you think carefully about what I just said.
Think about what? Like I said, I've got no idea what you're talking about. How many times you want me to say it?
If you don't understand by now, I have nothing more to say. I may be your mother, but I'm not responsible for managing your life. And if you don't understand why what you did is wrong by now, I'm not about to spoon-feed you.
Huh? I still have no idea what you're talking about. Fine, whatever. At least Winona will be safe if she's with you. I'll be in touch tomorrow. Hey, Winona. How you feeling, babe? Has the fever gone down at all?
I feel a lot better thanks to your mom. I'm surprised. You actually remembered to message me.
Of course I did. You're my wife, you know. Plus, my mom told me you were asleep last night and that I should message you today. So I did exactly what she said, and here we are. But now what? I still don't know exactly what I'm supposed to say.
Didn't your mom make it clear to you yesterday?
Oh, that? Yes, that. You told me you said I was selfish and heartless and that I should think about why that might be.
Bingo! So did you think about it?
To be honest, I don't understand at all. I didn't even bother thinking about it.
I see. I knew it. This is completely hopeless.
What is? Stop being so cryptic and just tell me already. She was saying all sorts of horrible things to me. But it was all so vague and ambiguous that I couldn't for the life of me figure out what she actually meant. Why do we have to play these games? Why can't you just freaking tell me already?
I read through the chat logs, and on the contrary, I don't think she was saying anything particularly difficult to understand. I'm sure you'd understand in a heartbeat if you thought for even 1 second about how you've been behaving lately.
How I've been behaving lately? I'm like, how? Did I do something wrong? I'm not psychic, babe. At least give me a hint.
Wow, you genuinely have no self-awareness at all. I guess it's not that surprising, really. No one of any self-awareness would have such a despicable attitude, or do the things you do in the first place.
Despicable attitude? Stop it, Winona, that's crossing the line. I'm just acting the same as I always do. If anyone's acting different, it's you.
Yes, and it's precisely that you're acting the same as you always do that's the problem. You're probably at a casino right now, am I right? Looking at the time, you're probably queuing up outside as we speak.
Unlucky, so close yet so far. I just got in. That was a pretty good guess, though. How did you know?
It's your day off work today. Based on how you were acting yesterday, it hardly takes a genius to figure out you're back for more. I've never felt so bad about being so right about something.
Oh, why would you feel bad? Don't you think you're being a little dramatic here? Do you have any idea how much money I won yesterday? I'm in the big leagues now, baby! The big leagues, yeehaw! Started out with this much, today should be a breeze.
It's not your winning or losing that breaks my heart, Hassan. It's the fact that you're still able to waltz off to the casino without a care in the world, despite everything that's going on.
How many times I gotta tell you it's up to me what I do on my goddamn days off? And what do you mean by everything that's going on? Did something happen?
Oh, I don't know. Did it? Does your wife collapsed yesterday ring any bells? Even if you're too thick-headed to understand what me and your mom were trying to say to you, you could have come to check on me, or at the very least waited for me at home.
Oh, come on, you're such a drama queen. You seem fine to me. I don't see any problem here. All's well that ends well and all that.
Ugh, this is exactly the problem. I may as well just come out with it at this point. This isn't normal, Hassan.
Oh, how so?
The fact you're still able to go to the casino to blow your other people's money on the slots at a time like this, it's not normal. You're ill and you need help. You're a gambling addict.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous. Why I always gotta blow everything out of proportion? I'm not addicted at all. I can stop whenever I want to.
So why don't you then? I'm not blowing it out of proportion at all. If anything, I've been understanding it this whole time to avoid causing a road so explosive it finishes us off for good. Can you seriously claim you don't have a problem when you go as far as lying to your own mother to get hold of more money to fund your self-destructive habit? It's not normal at all.
Okay, fine. Let's say I do sometimes do things that maybe other people don't do. Even if that were the case, what exactly is the problem? I have a decent job where I work and make money of my own. It's not like I'm homeless or committing crime. And I do the bare minimum of what's expected of any functioning member of society.
Your job's the only way you could possibly be described as a functioning member of society. You practically live at the casino, and your marriage is in shambles. You never do anything to help out at home.
Huh? Our marriage is in shambles? What's that supposed to mean?
It means those damn slot machines are more important to you than your own wife. Our marriage is nothing more than a statistic on the census at this point. I can't take it anymore. I want a divorce.
Whoa, hold on a sec. Why you gotta start talking crazy all of a sudden? Divorce? That's preposterous. You say I'm the one who doesn't care about you, but you divorce me over this? Are you feeling okay? I think you're still ill, sweetie.
The fact you're surprised I want a divorce after everything you've put me through is a testament to how detached from reality you are. It's actually scary.
No, it's too much. It's too sudden. We're adults and we should talk about this like adults. If my hobby is such a huge problem for you, that you divorce me over it, why didn't you say so earlier? Don't you think it's a little unfair to stay quiet this whole time and spring it on me out of nowhere like this?
This might be the first time I've mentioned divorce, but I've been making it abundantly clear how unhappy I am with how much time and money you've been spending at the casino lately. The signs were there, but you weren't willing to pay any attention to them. I gave you plenty of time to realize, too. You're the one who couldn't drag yourself away from your precious slot machines for long enough to think about the future of your marriage. I can't take this anymore. I've run out of patience, Hassan. There will be no more compromises.
I can't believe you're being like this, babe. I mean, seriously? This divorce is ridiculous, and I won't acknowledge it.
Whether you acknowledge it or not makes no difference, because as awfully as you've treated me, I still have one ally.
An ally? Who?
Your mother. After seeing your attitude yesterday while I lied, tossing and turning in a delirious sweat with a fever so high it could melt ice caps, she demanded I divorce you immediately.
Wow, my own mother? Look how you will gang up on me and try and paint me as some evil cartoon villain. This is pathetic, you cowards. This is absurd.
You're right. It is absurd. But the only one responsible for creating this absurd situation is you. You know what? I'm done fighting it. I'm beat. I'm not capable of providing you the help you need. You need to see a professional.
Nona, please! Won't you just rethink the divorce? I don't know what I'd do without you to rely on. I need you.
I'm not the one you should be relying on. You don't need me. You need a doctor. You're even sicker than I am. After that, with the support and backing of my wonderful mother-in-law, I managed to push through divorce with a stubbornly hesitant Hassan. On top of demanding a hefty sum of compensation for the emotional distress he put me through, we also saw to it that he paid back his mom the money she'd lent him to gamble with. The overall amount he borrowed from her wasn't particularly high, but on top of already struggling to come up with the money he owed me for single-handedly destroying our marriage, it must have felt like a serious weight on his shoulders. Hassan's mom understood that despite her son's abhorrent behavior, he was in the wraps of a crippling addiction and felt he deserved support and compassion, which is why after the divorce, she allowed him to move in with her. Now they're tackling his addiction together. To tell you the truth, I thought she'd cut all ties with him, but she's doing her best to fulfill her duties as a mother in the face of adversity. While I didn't have it in me to stay in contact with Hassan after the divorce, I really admire her patience and understanding. As for whether he'll actually change his ways or not, I have no idea. I just want him to respect my